Festus Akingbaso announced this defection to the ruling party. So after he announced his, it didn't take long before no fewer than 10,000 members, 10,000, thousands, right there to the All Progressives Congress, might I say the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, right? And that is in Ondo State under the Idari federal constituency. Okay, now we should let you in on the fact that a former presidential aspirant of the All Progressives Congress, Nicholas Felix, has dismissed the newly formed opposition coalition under the African Democratic Congress ADC, no threat to President Bola Tinubu's 2027 re-election bid. Speaking in Suleja on Thursday, that's Niger State in case you didn't know, during the distribution of thousands of liters of fuel to Nigerians, Felix, its troops on yesterday, neutralized scores of terrorists. First of all, let me ring a bell. Nationwide, at the army headquarters, told NAN that troops had sustained tempo of onslaught against terrorists and other criminal elements across the country. Morale high. I like. I wanted to hear more of this. Right, I'm sure you do too. But let's get to the front page of Nigerian newspapers, bring you up to speed on. Let's jump into this one here. This day newspaper, the big story, NEC targets economic stimulus for over 8.8 million people in 809 wards across Nigeria. It's got two riders set to peak at least 1,000 beneficiaries per working, but we must stimulate growth in rural areas. That's what Mr. President is saying. The economy is working. Growth must be stated in the rural areas, is what he says. You find the story continued on page 10 of this day. Another big story, federal government approves 712 billion naira full rehabilitation of Lagos Airport Terminal 1. It's got riders to it now. Projects to be executed within 22 months. OK's 213.7 billion naira for electrification of universities, rural communities, awards multi-billion naira road projects nationwide, approves new oncology center for Ibadan, moves to address nurses' ongoing industrial action. I mean, there's a lot. You should find that one still on page 10, looking very popular with the This Day newspaper. Above the This Day newspaper banner now, Babangida Aliyu is the kicker. Let's leave Tinubu till 2031. That's what he says. Babangida Aliyu. Let us leave, Mr. President. Leave him alone, please, up until 2031. That story you'd find on page 34. To another page 10. I don't understand. What is it about page 10 this morning with This Day? With eye on 6.8 billion naira reserves. NUPRC rallies oil producers to raise deep water outputs to 810,000 barrels per day. Continued on page 10 of the This Day newspaper. That's about all for the This Day newspaper. Taking you on eagle's wings to the Guardian newspaper. The big story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, 2026 World Cup. Alrighty, it's a big story now. Pages 4 and 5, you'd find this one. Uncertainty for FIFA soccer fans over Trump's America First policies. I see Trump now holding the football in this very cartoon-like representation, and he has a red card. Red card. Trump, a referee? Okay. Well, 2026 World Cup is the kicker now. Uncertainty for FIFA soccer fans over Trump's America First policies. And you'd find that big story on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. Just above that big story, but underneath the Guardian newspaper banner now, call off strike for negotiation. Presidency reps tell health workers, call off the strike, please, for negotiation. The presidency is calling on the striking nurses, the rep members, they're calling on the striking nurses. Please, health workers, help us, please. Now let's talk. Always when the thing has gone very critical, y'all like to go to the negotiation table. I don't know why that always happens. But anyways, we go to this one here, page 29. You'd find this one. Furore over Rivers local government polls as group threatens legal action. And to page 3, Dangote Cement advocates budget-friendly mass housing for Nigerians. I see Dangote. Well, I see this one here now on page 6. Tinubu rallies governors to drive reform gains despite hardship, discontent in states. Tinubu rallies governors to drive reform gains despite hardship, discontent in states. Alrighty, page 6. And to page 27 now, appeal court uphold Ayedatiwa's election as Ondo governor. And this one, 2027 being the kicker. I don't know, for some reason Atiku's face is right there, but it says PDP rejects Tinubu's endorsement, berates Atiku, others over ADC coalition. All right, more defections. Leadership crisis unsettled PDP ADC ahead of 2027 polls. You'd find that one on page 6. Tension as bandits dismember 2 teenagers in Kogi. Tension as bandits dismember 2 teenagers in Kogi. Bandits in Kogi State? Kogi State? I don't know. Page 29. Dismember. That's the part. That's okay. I don't want to go into it. I'll leave it there. All right, page 18 now. Concerns as bank charges customers for accumulated USSD debts. 74% of children in detention homes awaiting trial, reports declares. Page 7, you'd find that one. And I take you to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. It's very, very busy now. Just above the Nigerian Tribune newspaper banner now, PDP faults arbitrary street renaming in Lagos, threatens legal action. Page 2, Nigeria influential nation of unlimited possibility. U.S. government is saying that. Page 11, now U.S. government has come to acknowledge that we are an influential nation of unlimited possibilities. But what do we see ourselves as? What are we? Are we like grasshoppers in the face of giants? Okay, you tell me. Okay, we see this one, the big story. FEC approves 145 billion naira electrification projects for Unilag, UI, UNN, others. Page 2, you'd find that story. OK's 68.7 billion naira for second phase of solar power for rural agri centers. Approves 3.7 billion naira for upgrade of oncology center in UCH. Right. Page 2 holds that story. Foreign Affairs Minister in Ghana amid deportation threat on Nigerians. Page 3. Tinubu extends Adeni's tenure as customs CG. Page 12. Page 4. Ilorin cleric who killed female students to die by hanging. All right, page 4 holds that very, very story. And then we go to this one, HPV. That is the kicker. New cases of skin cancer in people with weakened immunity. Experts are saying that. Page 3. Appeal court affirms Ayedatiwa's election as governor. Page 11. And this one here says, we want better salaries, not loans. ASU tells federal government. Page 4. And Yowada's experience as rec added advantage for APC. Lalong is saying that on page 22. And we move away from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Go to the Daily Trust newspaper now. The big story on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper: 34 million Nigerians at risk of hunger as UN food aids ends. 34 million Nigerians at risk of hunger as UN food aid ends. You find a story on pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Above that story now, the big story, that's what I mean. Canada to join UK, France to recognize Palestinian state in September. To recognize Palestinian state in September. I don't know how Trump is going to feel about that. Don't even know how Israel is going to feel about that. But well, in September they say they will recognize Palestine or Palestine, and they recognize them as a Palestinian state. Okay, now you find that one on page 24, and then we go to this one now. It says Niger takes federal government to court over 13% derivation, and you'd find that one on page 8. And the strike is the kicker here. Government nurses meet today. Government nurses meet today. You'd find that one on page 11. And let's get to the base of the Daily Trust newspaper. Hashtag end bad governance protest. 1 year after, nothing has changed. The conveners are reminding us that, after the end bad governance protest, hashtag 1 year after, nothing nothing has changed. But hey, Mr. President says the economy is getting better, but all we have to do is just see how we can consolidate on the rural areas and see how we can stimulate economic growth in these areas, hoping that should that happen, we will indeed see the dividends of democracy and of his administration. But we see this one down on pages 3 and 4 as well of the Daily Trust newspaper. Away from the Daily Trust down to the last daily we'll be looking into this morning. Keep in mind, this is Eagles Morning Rises, the pages. And yes, this is the breakfast show, starting your day the right way in this new month. Now, the Punch newspaper to the side of it, we see this one, Nigeria, Ghana hold talks over anti-Nigerian protests, page 7. And the big story, marketers warn against disruption as Dangote plans direct fuel supply. Page 19 has got the story. It's got one writer to it, Nogasa Petron tackle Dangote. Petrol surges to 870 naira to a litre at private depots amid feud. All right, page 19, you'd find this big story. Nigeria needs new constitution, not amendment. Ezekwesili is saying that. Page 3, you'd find what she says. And to page 7 now, recovery ongoing in 1.3 trillion naira CBEX Ponzi collapse. EFCC says that recovery is still ongoing in the 1.3 trillion naira CBEX Ponzi collapse. Okay, some money's coming in, right? I like the sound of money coming in. But the sound of money going out in frivolous reasons, I don't like that one. I don't know if you do. But page 29 has got this one. Ondo State is the kicker now. ADC vows to challenge Ayedatiwa's appeal court victory. And to pages 4 and 5, how suspected ritualist dismembered my 16-year-old son. Ogun Driver is saying that. How suspected ritualist dismembered my 16-year-old son. Now catch the age. 16-year-old son. If you were a father, how you feel? You've been devastated. I don't even have the right words. 16-year-old boy. So we are facing bandits, kidnapping, armed robbery, abduction. All of it, of course, is terrorism. Trust me. And then we have the ones we now call terrorists. We have recognized as terrorists. Then we have the IPOBs that we keep saying, the ESN, the networks that are causing problems in the eastern region. And then we have ritualists on the rise too, doing their bid. And then just a while ago I told you about road crashes. If it is not that, it's communal clashes rather. If it is not that, it is the armed herders invading farms and causing disputes. If it is not that, assassinations here and there. I mean, aren't you tired? I'm tired of it. But I mean, this is what's going on. Or your budget hits 984 billion naira after 299.8 billion naira supplementary bill. Page 29 has got that story. All right, so we see this one here, the very top of the Punch newspaper banner. 2027 is the kicker now. Defection stir tension as APC ADC lock horns. Page 2. To page 20, government's FX windfall crashes 73% to 589 billion naira already. Okay. Now we see this one here. FEC is the kicker.